Okay, so the first thing we put into our mixing bowl is 3 cups of bread flour. And then on one side of the bowl, I like to put the yeast. And then...
How much yeast?
It's on the whiteboard, I'll write it down.
Okay.
And then on the other side of the bowl, I like to put the sugar and salt. Because if the salt touches the yeast, it'll just kill it straight away. And then with a little mixing thing, I just like mix the two halves together. So they're like mixed into the flour, but they're like separate. And that is the dry stuff.
Okay.
So for the wet ingredients, what I'll do is I'll measure 3 tablespoons of milk. It can be whole milk or skim milk or whatever, into a cup, and then I'll make that cup up with water. And what I like to do is a little bit of cold water, and then just to get the dough going, some hot water from the kettle. So the amount of fluid is 1 cup, but there's a little bit of milk in there and a little bit of hot water and a little bit of cold water.
Okay.
So we're going to take our wet ingredients and just put them in with our dry ingredients. And then we're also going to take 2 tablespoons of soft butter and just sort of blob that in little bits. Like that. And then I'm going to clean my fingers and something.
Okay. We got all the wet and dry ingredients in there.
Yep. And a little knob of butter. And then I just get the mixing arm and I just sort of get it going into a ball. Like that.
Okay.
And then that can just go into the mixing machine until it becomes a bread dough. About 5 minutes.
Okay.
Oops, don't drop it in.
Alright, what speed do you put it on?
Pretty low, like 2.
Okay. About 5 minutes?
About 5 minutes. So once it's finished mixing, I shape it into a ball, and then I put some vegetable oil in the bowl just to sort of grease it so it won't stick when it rises. And then I just leave that for 1 hour.
1 hour.
So once that's bulked up a little, I divide this up into burger buns. This will probably make 8, actually. Even those are a bit big. Okay. And then I just sort of fold them in on themselves to make little balls. This. Yeah, it's probably fine. So you got them all bundled up like that. You flip them over, cup them with your hand, and then sort of roll them around and shape them into a little ball. So like that. Your little squeeze, and then those go on the paper to prove for half an hour first.
Okay.
So once they're all balled up and squished down a little, just cover them with another baking tray. Ideally one that's the same size. This one is not. Just get a bit of tea towel or something. You just don't want them to get any skin on them while they dry. You could also cover them in what do you call it? Cling film. I prefer not to use cling film if I can get away with it.
Okay.
So these will puff up for a bit, and then what I do is they'll be kind of too round. So after about half an hour, I push them all down so they're even flatter, and then I put the oven on to preheat. And whilst that's heating, I cover these back up again, and then just let them do a little bit more proving. They're kind of squashy but puffy now, so those should be fine to go in 425 for about 15 minutes. Thereabouts.
And this is the same recipe for the hot dog buns, right?
It is, but I'll show you how to shape the hot dog buns when we get around to hot dog buns.
Sounds good.
So after about, after 15 minutes, they'll, in spite of everything, come out like hard rock buns, because I don't really know what I'm doing.
I'm sure they'll taste good.
They're probably fine. I don't know how to make the burger ones the right shape, but what I do is to make sure they stay soft, I just cover them with a clean tea towel and then let those sit like that.
Sounds good.
Until they're cool. Alright, so we've got a second batch of dough here.
This is for hot dog buns.
This is for hot dogs. I guess I'll just do maybe 8. So again, slice it up. I'm not super worried about them all being the same size. And then what you want to do with these ones is sort of fold them back into a ball again, like the first time, and ball them up. But then, once they're all balled up, you want to sort of roll them like that between your fingers until you get a long sausage. And they can be quite thin and quite long because they'll puff up. And try and make them even, although I don't often manage that. There'll be a seam side where you folded it over, just plop it on the other side, and then that goes into a 13 by 9, I think. And I'll just line those up and then let them prove for about half an hour, 40 minutes.
Okay.
So this is how they should look when they've risen, like touching each other. These are probably going to be too big, to be honest. You could probably make twice as many hot dog buns with this amount of dough. Anyway, they're going in, same temperature, same amount of time, 15 minutes, 425.
Yeast, salt, sugar. Buns!
Buns!
Hot dog buns! You just peel them apart and they
Just
look
peel them
delicious.
apart, let them cool as one big block, and then put one on a rack to cool, and then
Buns! Double buns.
2 sets of buns.
This is, again, just the ingredients list. 3 cups of bread flour, 1 tablespoon instant yeast, teaspoon of salt, 1.5 tablespoon of sugar, 3 tablespoon milk with the cold water and the warm water to fill up the cup, and then 2 tablespoons of soft butter.